This is the Extra Point Podcast from Arizona's family.
Well, it is hard to believe it has been since, '06, the last time we saw our next guest play in an NFL game, leading the Steelers to the Super Bowl. If you're a younger member of our audience, YouTube the bus. Jerome Bettis, who zooms in here to the Extra Point on Arizona's family. And, man, it's great to see you today. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, I wanted to talk to you definitely, just get your perspective on the NFL and what you're up to now. So you're out doing some good stuff in the community, kind of talking about your journey to get to the NFL. And start with telling us you're 14 years old, and it kind of could have gone either way, right? Playing pro football or maybe having to shut it down.
It could have. At 14, I was just starting out on my football journey. And I go out, and I'm on the field, I pass out. I go to the hospital and I'm diagnosed with asthma. And at that point, I thought my football career was definitely over. I was done. But mom and dad and the doctors, they really conveyed to me that as long as I managed the asthma, as long as I took the medicine I was supposed to take, that I could continue to play football. It wasn't going to be easy, but I could continue to play if I wanted to. And that's really kind of what led me down the road where I am today and in this relationship I am now, because my priority became the quality of air, my environment, being conscious of what I was putting into my body. All of these things played a factor, and the air quality was part of it as well. And so, partnering with AirServe, a neighborly company, because they understand about air quality as well. So it just made that unique synergies that, here it is a company that really is trying to do the same thing I'm trying to do, create awareness, let people know that there are issues, even in your own home, that you need to be aware of.
We're always dealing with air quality here in the desert. It gets dusty. I don't know if you've seen any of those big dust storms, those haboobs there on the news, and you're like, man, what's floating around in my house right now? So you recently worked with them to install some things inside houses to kind of clean up the air. What's the latest and greatest when it comes to technology?
Well, they've got some incredible indoor air quality systems that are available. I was just in a home. We installed an indoor air quality system, and we also installed a furnace. It was a family out of Pittsburgh, the Johnson family, and it was just a great experience to see them being upgraded, seeing their home, going through this transformation. They have a grandson that has some breathing issues, and so for that to happen to this family and to see the benefit of it, it was a tremendous moment for me. I mean, I was involved in it. I didn't install everything. There was some incredible AirServe technicians that put everything in, but I was able to see the true benefit for this family, and it was special.
Oh, I think the bus probably drove the bus over there with everybody. That's probably that's how I'm picturing that it worked. All right, top sources for indoor air pollution.
You know what? What you wouldn't believe is some things in your own home. Your body provides a pollutant in your own home. It's the skin cells that's falling off of your skin is creating a pollutant. The dust mites are attracted. They're at everything. And then you've got pets. If you got pets, they've got the dust mites attracted to the dead skin cells as well. I mean, there's so much in the home that we don't even know about that's creating poor air quality. And so there are some solutions to that. I mean, from as simple as an air filter being changed regularly, cleaning the air ducts, and then the bigger solutions are, indoor air quality systems that are available for you. So, all you have to do, take a look, airserve.com/thebus for some air quality solutions. They're out there. It's just about knowing where to look.
All right, let's talk a little football now. Doing good work out there in the community, the bus like always. So top storylines here from the NFL after week 3, of course, out here in Arizona. We're still trying to pick up our jaw off the floor after the Cardinals beat the Cowboys. Did you have a chance to check in on what Jonathan Gannon is doing here with the Cardinals, and what'd you think of that win?
You know what? It was so unexpected, but I was, I was a fan. Obviously, I mean, I'm a big fan of Joshua Dobbs. He spent quite a few years here in Pittsburgh, and to see him have the success that he had was impressive. And I'm always a big fan of him. But to see this Arizona Cardinals team, I mean, even though they've lost a couple games early in the season, it wasn't because of lack of effort. This is a team that's out there putting it all out there on the football field. Win, lose, or draw. And so it was very fitting that they went out and won this football game that nobody gave them a chance to win, by the way, to go out and have a performance like that. It was impressive.
How challenging would it be if, say Ben Roethlisberger went down back in the day and you got a new quarterback after the last preseason game? I think Josh Dobbs had 6 practices with this Cardinal team. How unlikely is it? I mean, I'm still trying to wrap my head around that he didn't even know some guys' names in the huddle as he got ready for week 1.
Yeah, it was an extreme experience for him. But I think what you have to understand, it wasn't something that was unfamiliar to him. If you go back a year earlier in the playoff game with I think the Tennessee Titans, he comes in and has to play like immediately without really knowing much of anything. So he's had some experience. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing at doing that, but for him to be the consummate professional, to go out there and then still play hard, still play tough, and still in the fight from a football perspective, that's all you can ask for, from a quarterback. And so they thought that this was an attempt for the Cardinals to tank, and they're showing that, hey, no, this is a football team fighting for their football life every single day, practicing with the resolve, and we saw it on Sunday.
Well, from one unlikely quarterback to another, so they go on the road this weekend, the Cardinals do, and they take on the San Francisco 49ers. The Brock Purdy story, where does that rank for you in terms of all-time stories of quarterbacks finding a way in the starting lineup?
It is, it's up there really high. Mr. Irrelevant, that's what it's all about, for a guy to have an opportunity like that and to be able to take advantage of his opportunity and go out there and lead this football team to the point where he's Mr. Relevant in the same draft as the third pick in the draft, who was drafted to the same team, and now he's the starting quarterback. So it's just a fairy tale story that's really impressive. And we see it playing out right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, and every other team in the NFL saying, why can't that happen to my team? Why do the Niners get so lucky? What about your Steelers?
You got to draft well.
Yeah, you can afford to miss some. Well, what about your Steelers? How are you feeling about your Steelers?
Well, you know what? I'm excited about this football team because they got an outstanding defense. You got special receivers on both sides. You got a really talented tight end, and you got 2 running backs who can flat out get the job done. And you got a quarterback who's a young quarterback. He's developing. You got to give him a little bit of time, but he has the potential to be really special. So here you go. You got a team that if they continue to develop this season, by the end of the season, you're looking at a playoff team that can make some hay in the playoffs. So I'm excited. Got my fingers crossed. Hopefully we can get Kenny Pickett that development that he needs, and we're going to see a special football team at the end of the year.
Well, when you think about your Super Bowl team, the building blocks that it took to get there, how many years did it take to build to what you guys had in Detroit, your hometown, beating Seattle?
It took about 3 or 4 years. It did, for the guys to figure out. Now we had a second-year quarterback, so that was the really quick part about it. But outside of that, we had some talented receivers, we had talented running backs. Offensive line was phenomenal. So it was a couple years in the making. It wasn't an overnight success. The year before we went 15-1. We had a special team. We didn't quite make it. And so the next year we were able to pull it off. So it takes a few years to make it happen.
Yeah, and when you have to knock at the door like that and you have to kind of get your heart broken and you have moments. I remember, apologies for bringing this up, but hopefully this is a good lesson lesson for kids? Wasn't there a fumble on the goal line in Indianapolis that Ben pounced on, and you gotta kind of work through some stuff? Was that the 15-1 year, and then to finally hoist the championship?
That was the year we won it all.
Oh, okay. But the anxiety. What was the anxiety like?
They would have ran me out of town. They would have ran me out of town if that was my final year. So luckily for me, Ben saved the day. We won, and we ended up winning the championship. So it's all water under the bridge now.
It is. I mean, just the anxiety of it, though. I mean, just to think about. I love the smile. I love it. But kids are going to go through stuff like this. So what was it like to persevere, go through it, and hoist the championship trophy in your hometown?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You're going to have some difficult moments in your career. You have difficult moments in your life, and it's about how do you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get back in the fight. And that's what it was. And I got a reprieve. I got a second opportunity, and I made the best of it. And we went out and won a championship.
Well, I'm sorry to bring that up. I mean, I would have fumbled every single time at the goal line. I think it's just a good lesson for kids, and people see my mistakes every night here on the Extra Point. College football now. You talked to Lou Holtz this week at all? What him and Ryan Day, they got a little dust up.
Yeah, but you know what? When you think about what Coach Holt said, I mean, he was pretty accurate. I mean, that offensive line, defensive line for Notre Dame played a physical game. They were tough. Now, I will say Ohio State was tough and physical as well. And Ohio State did the necessary things to win the football game at the end. So you cannot dispute that. But Coach said that Notre Dame was going to be the most physical team, and I think he was correct with that part.
Awesome. Well, hey, we appreciate the football perspective here. We appreciate the perspective on trying to get the air healthy. And next time you're in Phoenix, we hope to see you with a golf club in your hand once again.
You will. No problem with that. You take care.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for the time, man.
No problem.
The Extra Point Podcast is a production of 3TV, CBS 5, and azfamily.com in Phoenix, Arizona.